Hello, hello Yash. Viewers, Rupesh, hello, Nisha, hello. Hello Krishna. Hello Mohammed. Okay, almost how many? Four. Okay. Let's start करते हैं हम लोग yesterday what we have seen. So yesterday we have seen this tool menu, right? Zoom toggle. Then tap to transient is left, and then these options are left. Then already on the first lecture, in the first lecture, we have seen the smart tool option, and then yesterday we have seen scrubbing tool, pencil tool, all this other tool, custom zoom tool, and editing modes. Alright. If you have any doubt, video is still available. You can go through the video and hope at the home you are trying all the whatever we are learning. You are trying all these things. Okay, so today we are going to learn uh, tap to transient, right, and all these other parameters, right? So let's start with tap to transient option, right? So when it is off, right? So basically when it is off, there is a key on your keyboard, tab key is there, right? So whenever you click anywhere in empty space on any track, right? And you just hit that tab key, what will happen? Your cursor will move to next audio event or audio clip, right? If there is nothing to the next of this cursor, so it won't move. But if there is a audio event next to this cursor, then this cursor will move to that audio event, right? At the beginning of the audio event, again, if you press this tab, it will move to end of that audio event, right? So I'll just pressing tab. And we have seen that cursor is moved to audio event start. Again, if I press tab, it will move to back of the audio event. Now it's blinking over here. You can't see. I have to zoom it, right? So it's over there. You can see it's blinking over here, right? Again, if I hit tab, it's not going anywhere, right? Or maybe it has gone. No, right? So it has moved to the end of the session, right? So this is how it's work when this tab to transient is off, right? In the same way, if I press shift tab or option tab, sorry, if I hit option tab, not option tab, shift tab is the only key. Oh, sorry, start tab. Option tab, shift tab. Okay, control tab. Sorry, my bad. Control tab. If you hit control tab, so it will move to the previous whatever event is there, right? So now it has moved to the previous audio event end, right? Again, if I hit control tab, it has moved to audio starting, right? Again, if I press control tab, now it has moved to session start, right? So this is how you can quickly jump on any track. If you want to jump to next audio event, tab is the key for you to jump quickly, right? Even let's say over here it's there, and if I hit shift tab, command shift and tab, if I hit, let's say if I hit only shift tab, so what will happen from this point to next audio event, it will select that region. So I'm just pressing shift, holding shift key, and then I press tab. As you can see, this area is get selected. Even if I keep it press shift key, and if I again hit tab, it will select the next audio region. And so this is quite helpful tool when you want to select region by region or event by event, so that you can do by keyboard shortcut key, or else like you can directly do by pressing shift key and directly selecting this event. Right now, let's see, we'll go to event start, this event start, and now I press this tab, tab to transient. Shortcut key, I guess, is option tab, not option tab, command option tab, right? So shortcut key is command option tab. You can't see over here, I'm just pressing option as well. So command plus option plus tab, right? It's not showing over here, but I'm pressing command option tab, right? So when you press command option tab, it will move to, sorry, it will turn on this tap to transient key, right? So now what is tap to transient? It will move now, like before this turning on tap to transient, cursor was moving event by event, right? Whatever event is there on that particular track, it was moving event by event. Now my cursor will behave in different way, right? So when it's an empty slot, it will move event to event, but as the event arrive, when it's at the beginning of the event, what will happen when I press tab button, it will move from one bit transient to another bit transient, or whatever transient, not bit transient, but whatever transient there in that particular audio event, it will move to next transient in that audio event, right? So, just a minute. Okay, so let's say in this audio event there are lots of transient, right? So if I press over here, I press tab, again I am pressing tab, so cursor has detected over here the first transient, right? So that's why it moved to this transient, right? So basically transient is sudden rise in a audio level, right? That we call, or that what this cursor detect as a transient, right? So that's why it's moving from, that's why it has moved to that transient, right? That particular audio rise over there, right? Again, if I hit tab, it moved to this audio event, right? You can see if I zoom over here there is a, quite we can't see, but there is a rise in a audio level, sudden rise. That's why we call it as a transient. Again, I'm hitting tab, so now it moved over here. So when let's say this is like a mixed track, like lots of instruments are there, but when you are working with some loop, drum loop or some other loop, let's say some percussion loop is there or whatever loop is there, in in that particular case you want to cut audio, or you just want to move to a particular transient. So in that case, this tool is helpful when you just want to move to next transient or any transient, and you just want to hit B, that is your cut tool at cursor. Right, when you want to cut at particular cursor, just a minute, I just have to hit tab key. Okay. So by pressing B, you can cut over there. Right. So let me just import some audio. Click over here, Command Shift I. This to import audio. say I import this file, right? You have to click convert file and then you have to press done. Use current folder, new track, spot dialog. Why? Because I have kept this in spot mode. So let's minute and second. On 12th minute, I want to import this song. I'm just entering 12, enter. Right, so we have got this over here. So this is some sort of drum, or you can call it as a bass line as well. Right, so if I press tab, you can see it has moved to start of this event. Right, this audio. Right, so if I, let's say if I want to cut over here, or I can just press A and I can just cut whatever audio, blank audio was there before this audio starts. Right, so that I can do again if I hit tab key. So it has moved to next transient over here. You can see. I'll zoom it. So now this is the second transient. Also, you can see it will. It's not like just starts from where audio start. It needs some audio to rise suddenly. Then it goes to that point, right? But overall, you can see we consider this as a transient, right? Zooming out again, if I hit tab, next transient, because this is uh, sort of kind. This is like almost like baseline. That's why it's not moving to exact transient. But in most cases, kick and drum, you get the sudden rise. In that case, it will move to that transient only, that particular start point only. Again, if I tap, so it will move by transient only, right? Let me just import another audio. Over here you can see sample rate is same. That's why I'm not getting this. I'm not getting converting option over here. So just copy file option is there, and then you just have to press done. Over here, I'll selection new track, or let me just import into clip list. So my audio will get imported into this clip list. Right? So from here, I will drag this audio. This is mono file. So I have to create file, or you can just press Control Shift and to create new track. Alright, so this is new menu. In 12.5, this option is not like that. You cannot name while you're creating track. So this new feature they have added over here. Right, so over here I'm selecting mono audio track. As of now, we know only audio track. We are dealing with audio track only. So audio track option is there. How many tracks you want to create, that is there. One number is there. Right. You can name from here. Let's say I'll just name it mono 01. Right. Sample base and tick base. You will get this two option. Mostly we'll keep it as sample base, but when you are in music production, better to keep it in tick mode. Right. We'll discuss it later. Tick mode. What is basically tick mode and how it helps when you are in music production. right? Basically, if you keep in take mode, and let's say I'm working on this 120 BPM, right? And because all your tracks are in take mode, when you change your uh, from 120 to let's say 120 to 100 BPM, at that point it will change everything according to that whatever project tempo, right? So because like you have designed all your audio on whatever BPM mentioned over here, so it will move according to that BPM, whatever BPM you're changing, right? So because in that case, you better be using in tick mode, right? So as of now, we'll keep at sample mode, right? Mono one. And if you want to add another track, stereo track or whatever, right? So you can just press over here plus sign and you can mention over here. You get all this mono, stereo, LCR, LCRS, quad system. LCR is like three audio file will be there in a one single audio, right? LCRS will be four audio files in a one single audio, right? Over here you can see there are two audio, right? Left and right. This is how stereo track works, right? So this is left and this is right. So if I select stereo, then I can only be I can only import stereo track on that particular track, stereo audio file on that particular track. Okay, so you get lots of option, and then again in Pro Tools 12 2020, I guess 2020 what they call over here. In This is 19 version, but from 19 version they have added this ambisonics, right? This is your object based panning, right? Over here this is channel based panning. So basically five outputs will be there in 5.0, right? You will get five speaker to pan. Over here you get 5.1 in extra LEF channel, then over here six channel, 6.1 channel, 7.7. This is again used for Dolby Atmos only, 7.0.2 and 7.1.2, right? Because now we have reached on this point, that's why I'm explaining. Might you will not get some new guys, they will not understand what I'm talking about this extension. But now they have started like basically now the streaming is stereo, right? But in future, not future, almost some streaming software they have started this ambisonic sound, or what we can call a Dolby Atmos. They have started streaming Dolby Atmos. In that they mix audio in this format 7.0.2 or 7.1.2, and then other these options are also there. So only as of now, uh, ProTool have started, not ProTool, sorry. Uh, First, Nuendo was there who have started this ambisonic, or what we can call object-based panning system, right? Dolby Atmos support. Nuendo was the first. Then ProTool have integrated from 2019 12th version, 12 2019 Pro Tool version. So you get in your Pro Tool Ultimate version all these options, right? So we have seen in other DAW, uh, S1, Studio One. Studio One just supports stereo, right? You don't get any or beyond any channel beyond stereo. You don't get any channel beyond stereo, right? So that is the limitation of Studio One software. But if you know, like if you want to work in a surround sound format, so better be switch to Pro Tool, right? Of course, you also need a better sound card which can have minimum 8 channel output. For ambisonics, I don't know how many outputs you require. I guess in this case you require 7 plus 1 is 8, 9 and 10. So 10 outputs you at least require for this 7.1.2, 7.0.2. Right, we'll discuss later this. As of now, stereo only. So if it's stereo, I'm not creating this track. So I'm just removing this track. So create mono track. So here we have got mono track. Quickly, if you want to analyze which track is stereo and which track is mono, so over here you can see there are two audio meters and here only one audio meter is there, right? So now I can drag and drop audio over here. Very small audio, right? So you can see clear transient, right? No other tracks in between, just clear hit by a drum or percussion, right? So in this case, if I hit tab key, it just quickly move to next audio transient, right? Over here you can see now it's just moving to zero line, right? So in this case, using tap to transient is very helpful, right? And let's say this is already a loop track, right? But what if I want to just quickly cut all those and I just want to separate all those transient, right? All the hits. So I just press tab key and I'll hit come B option from my computer, right? So I'm just pressing tab and then B, tab B, tab B, right? So it just I get all transient now. I separate. I get all these separate transients, right? So I can create my own rhythm out of it. So this is not about any production class. So I'm just showing you what you can do, what possibly you can do with this tool. Right, so you can do with the help of this tap to transient tool, right? Now next we'll move to link timeline edit selection, basically when this option is off, right? So whenever whatever I'm selecting over here, right, or let's say when it's on, you can see whatever I'm selecting, it's also get selected on my timeline, about timeline, right? So basically Pro Tool is playing the timeline, not wherever you're clicking, right? When this tool is off, in this case, wherever I'm clicking or where whatever I'm selecting in my editing window, it's not getting selected on my timeline. So basically in my timeline, my previous clip is only it's only selected, my previous clip is only selected, but when I'm pressing on other event or I'm selecting some other region, that time it's not getting selected on this timeline because this menu is off. So if I hit play, right, so this audio or this timeline will get played, right? So in that case, you need to keep this on. So whenever you select any audio event, accordingly that whatever the length of the audio event, that timeline will get selected on that that particular length will get selected on that timeline. Okay, in some cases, let's say I have selected this file for some reason and I just want to play this track, or let's say if I have this selected and I just want to edit this thing. So in that case, I will keep this off and I will do selection over there, but I can still listen this audio event because my timeline is selected over here. Or manually, you can change start and stop button and you can manually adjust. Right, so over here it's playing this timeline, and also you can single click over and you can play from there. Right, so even if I select this audio event, still my cursor is there because it's not linked now. It's not linked now. So this is most of the DAW, they works in this way. They don't have this function like wherever you click on the audio event, your timeline will not get selected. And if you want to start audio from here, or if you want to play from this point, you have to click exactly on the timeline, and then you can play from there. So this is quite complicated, right? But this feature is there in Pro Tool. Also, the same thing was there in S1, and now almost all DAW uh, they have included this function, right? So because earlier it was quite difficult to just like like you have so many tracks and you just want some track is over here and you just want to start exactly from here, but you can't start because like it's not linked. So you have to go above and make assumption like this should be a start point, and then you have to click over there and then you can start from there. Okay. So this option is there. Make sure it's always on. There is a shortcut key for this as well. I don't remember, but maybe uh, in WhatsApp group I'll post what is the shortcut key for this link timeline and edit selection. Right? You can manually because like it's not the key which you usually most of the time you turn on or turn it off. Right? So because of that, I also don't remember the shortcut key for this menu. Manually you can do it, right? Then there is link track and edit selection. So now what happened if this thing is off, whenever you are selecting something, you can see this track is now selected, right? Because this option is off. Wherever whatever I'm selecting or wherever my mouse in which track, wherever my cursor is, it's not selecting that track, right? But when this option is on, I'm clicking anywhere, automatically that particular track will get selected. So by this track name, it's get highlighted, right? Even if I select two audio tracks, so you can see now two audio tracks are highlighted, right? So now these tracks are highlighted. So tracks are not colored, so you have to go in preference. It's taking time. Display mode, default track color coding, track type. Oh, track type, track color. That's okay. Option is over here. I guess track view track color option is over here in this track menu. As of now, it's not showing color, so you have to go in track option और एक ट्रैक को different color दे सकते हैं, right? We can color. Currently it's set according to track type. So now like I have imported audio, so that's why as of now it's not showing any color because it's set to do not show any color. So in this option, there is option is there show track color. Square into is that has view option. Next window, edit window, track color, right? You have to tick this on, right? This is now off, so because that's why we are getting this black color over here. right? So some people they don't want too much color. That's why this option is given there. If you don't want to work, you don't want your track, particular this region to be colored, you can keep this off. You just want your audio events to be colored, so you can keep in this way. It's depend person to person how they want to work, right? So now I click on that color. So now you get to see this purple color, which I have selected before turning on that option, right? So purple color, you want this palette you can get from here, window, and over here this color palette option is there. Otherwise, if you don't want to open from here, window, color palette, you can click on this color palette over here, double click, and you will get this option, right? And from here you can change whatever color you want. Again, over here you have to see on what application or what I can say, on which thing you are applying this color, right? So there are options given over here: track option, clip in the tracks, clip in the clip list, right? So over here again, there is a small color option over here in this box, right? So if you have a larger screen, in that it will be visible, right? But in small screen, it's not visible. Over here also you can see there is a purple option is there. Then there is black option, is blue option is there, right? So by default, whenever you import any audio, it gives blue color to audio, right? If you import any different track, let's say aux track, it gives yellow color. If you import master track, it gives a red color, right? So this is by default color typeset to whatever track you are importing in ProTool. Right, so here you have to select this palette option, whatever what things you want to get colored, right? So here track, first I've selected track, then clip in track, right? Let's say if you just want to change color of this clip, so first we have to select clips in tracks, right? If you keep track over here and you are just pressing other colors, this thing will only get color, right? So now clips in the tracks, and now you can see whatever clip you have selected, that clip will get that color. You select this, you can change the color. Select both audio events, green color. Right, so you have to select particular audio event. So now it has select clips, track. Right, and again, as you can see, there is two new options have been added: groups and markers. So these options were not there in Pro Tools 12.5. I don't know, maybe in 12.1 or 12 point something they have added, but 12.5, because most of the students they have 12.5 or 10.3 version or 10.5 version, they don't they don't get this option, group and marker. So now from here as well you can change the marker color. We'll see in next class how we can add marker over here. So marker track and group track. Okay. So where were we? We were over here to select things, right? So now wherever I'm selecting, that audio even get selected. Now in that case, let's say this thing is off, right? So even if I'm selecting this audio event, right, this track is now selected, because previously this track was manually selected, right? Now in case I have to select it manually, so what, even if I have selected this audio event, I don't know this option is off. If we consider that I don't know this option is off, and if I go over there and I select track, considering because I have selected this audio event, that track is selected automatically. And if I try to change the color, you can see this audio event is getting color, this audio track is getting color, right? So that's why better to keep this option off, on as well. Okay, then you have, after that you have this. Insertion follows playback option. You have to press an key from your keyboard to turn it on and off. Right. Hopefully, Krishna, I have given you answer that you have asked how to apply different color, right? Or can you apply different color to individual track? Yes, you can do as per your requirement, right? Mostly how people work, let's say in music production, there are lots of stems are there, let's say drums are there, lots of instruments are there, so you can color them accordingly if you want to, if you are in recording stage. Let's say you are recording drums, so in drums there are eight or nine or maybe three mics. So for all three mics you can keep one color. Then again, like you are recording guitars, let's say electric guitar, mostly people keep dark green color for electric guitar and light green color for acoustic guitar, right? So that's why you can differentiate between electric guitar and acoustic guitar. So it's up to you what color you want to do, what color you want to apply, right? Bass guitar usually keep most of people keep a red color vocal, they keep it red. Background vocal, they keep it light red or dark red, whatever they want. But mostly this color usually mostly in this industry follows, right? Or even if you want to keep it everything colorless, you can keep that as well. If you think like color making you uncomfortable while working or it put lots of stress on your eyes, so better keep the color off, right? Some people like colorful view. So in that case, people love to color all their tracks, right? It quite it makes your workflow very you can work very fast if your project is color coded, right? So then let's move to this option. Insertion follows playback. This option is N key. If you press N key, it will turn it on and turn it off. Right. So what is basically insertion follows? So whenever, let's say I have selected this track over here, if I play when this option is off, when I play audio, it will start playing, right? And as soon as I stop, it will stop at that point only, right? So now it's taking time. It's taking time to play. Right, we are running out of CPU power because my streaming is taking lots of power. I know that. So if I hit play, so this will what issue with the Pro Tool. Pro Tool requires lots of power. Playback engine. Let's check with the playback engine. We'll cover this playback engine later. Alright, so set to high, normal. Let's set to 3 GB, whatever. Minus value I can set. Only 4 viewers. Without loading any plugin, it's asking me to remove plugin, right? So as you know, like because I'm streaming on from my laptop, so I'm not getting necessary power to run Pro Tool, right? So that's why it's not playing. But you can get, I can explain without playing audio. Like let's say if I turn this on, so what will happen? If I start playing the audio, it will start playing from here, from this point. And let's say if I stop over here, so my cursor will get stopped at this point only. Right? Again, if I'll play, again if I hit spacebar over here, it will start playing from here, and again it will continue till I hit spacebar on my keyboard. If I hit spacebar on my keyboard, it will stop exactly at that point and cursor will stay at that point only. And again if I hit spacebar, it will continue from there. But when this option is off, what will happen whenever I play the audio and at whatever time I'm stopping the audio, I'm pressing my space bar. That point, what will happen? That cursor will move back to original position from where we have started. Right? So maybe in some cases this is helpful when you want to just analyze a particular audio event rapidly, right? You just want to play it twice, thrice, or four times, right? You are just analyzing. So in that case, you want this option to be off, right? So you can just play, stop, again your cursor will go back to start position, again you will play it from there, again you will stop, again it will go back, and again it will start from there, right? So this is what you can do by this option, insertion follows playback. Okay, so this option is there. Always keep in mind and a shortcut key for that. By mistakenly, most of the times you by mistakenly hit N key, and then what happened, right? You just stop and it gets stopped at that point only, and again it will place from there only. It won't get back to zero position, right? Or your earlier position from where you have started, right? So always keep in mind this N key is assigned to insertion follows playback, right? Same option also we have seen in Studio One, right? There are again we have applied this shortcut key. There was no shortcut key assigned for that. They have this function but with other name. But later on, like we have applied that N key to that function. Right, so this is also a useful function and great that is just above on your toolbar. So you can manually, if you don't know any shortcut key, you can directly press over here and turn it off and turn it on manually, right? So it's on, right? So it's playing now. If I stop, you see my cursor got stopped at this point only. If I play again, it will start from here only, right? Stop, right? But if I turn it off, now my insertion follows is off. And if I play now, right, again want to listen this part, again if I press, right. Right, hopefully we have got the idea what is insertion follows playback. Right, then this is automation follows edit. Right, this option you can keep it off or keep it on. This is, I guess, suspend, and this is following. Right, earlier version it used to get off like this, right? It used to get gray, but now it turns into orange, right? Let's say we'll see this option later, and again this option mirror MIDI editing. We'll cover this option in music production, this option in automation, and this is layer editing. I don't know about layer editing, but I guess let's say if I hit D over here, is it kind of create layer or something? No idea. Let's say I'll get back to you with this option tomorrow. Right. What is this layer editing option? I've seen something about, I guess about it's about your uh, recent action. No idea. Better. I'll check what is this point. I have never tried because I was also working on 12.5 version, and this version, that version does not have this function. Don't have this function, so better I'll just check and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Right. So today we'll stop here only. Let me just check whether I can. Let's cover this topic as well. Right, so this is basically play button, record button over here, stop button is there. Right, if you right click on play button, you will get other options. Right, half speed option is there, prime for playback is there, loop option is there, and dynamic transport is there. What is half speed? Half speed is like whatever speed, let's say at whatever song plays, is basically it's kind of RPM speed is there, revolution per minute or whatever. Like let's consider some speed is there. So when this thing is activated half speed, it will play at half speed. My audio event will play at half speed. So if let's, this is normal speed, and then this is half speed. Again, where you can use this thing, event audio, particular audio clip or glitch, something is there in your audio, and you just want to analyze. In that case, you can just run this half play speed, right? Shortcut key is like pressing shift and space bar, right? So in that case, you can analyze your audio in half speed. That gives you time to analyze your audio, right? So in that case, it's helpful. Then there is prime for playback. What is prime for playback? So once you hit prime for playback, your audio ProTool will prepare all your audio to get played at the right time. Let's say you have so many tracks, so many plugins loaded, right? So what will happen at that time when you quickly hit play button, right? Space bar, what will happen? Pro Tools start playing. But in some cases, what happened? There are so many plugins. It takes time to process audio, and because of that reason, that particular track takes time to get played, right? And because of that, it creates a lag. So maybe in some cases that lag will make you sound like a effect which will go with the song, or maybe in some cases you will find it not musical. You will find it unmusical, right? So in that case, always better just press this prime for playback. So now you get this your trigger sign, right? It starts blinking, and then you just play after that option, right? So there is again there is shortcut key for prime for playback. Currently, I don't know what is the shortcut key. You can anyway you can go manually over here. Prime for playback. You can hit over here. It will blink for two, three, four times, and then it will stop, and then again you will start playing. Right? Then loop option is there, which is already on. To activate loop option, first we have to select something in a range. Let's say this is selected in a range. Now this will consider as a loop. Whenever select something, will consider as a loop, right? So when you select something, and if you start playing, if you hit play, it will start playing this region again and again until you stop manually, right? So this is helpful if you want to analyze a particular event continuously. Again, this is helpful in loop recording when you want to just record something over here again and again. If you want to take a recording take twice or thrice or maybe 10 times, so you will select that region and you just record over here again and again and again, right? We'll see later in recording mode, right? But it is useful over there as well. Alright, so playback mode. Then recording mode is there. Record mode we'll see in some later. Then dynamic transport is there. What is dynamic transport? Basically, now you see it has added one extra layer over above below my transport, my ruler track, right? So in bar, I get two ruler track, right? So again, this is helpful when let's say I've selected something, and as you can see when you turn this thing on, dynamic transport shortcut key, I guess control option P or control start P, right? Control start P, the shortcut key, right? So in this option, what happens? Let's say I'll keep this thing on, edit timeline, link timeline and edit selection. So in this case, if I select something, right? Let's say when this thing is off, dynamic transport is not on, it's off. In this case, what happened? Whatever I'm selecting, that thing only I can play. Let's say in most of the times it happens when you have selected something and you just want to play somewhere else. You just want to analyze this audio. You are just in confusion whether this audio is this or this audio starts from here. I mean, like some other audio is there. You are confused, and that time you don't want to lose this selection. What will happen if I click over here? My this selection will get loose. Alright. Let's say if I want to start from here, and you can see that selection is gone. Alright. So in this case, of course, you can bring back your selection by going over here, edit menu, restore last selection, and you get your previous selection back. This is again helpful tool over here, restore art selection. So you keep this over here and you just turn on this dynamic transport option. Now you get this playback timeline separately. So you click over here. Again, you have to click here only above this line. If you click over here, again your selection is gone, right? So you have to now press over here above any line and you can play from here, not this thing. So your selection is selected only. It's not going to vanish. And also you can analyze audio wherever you want, right? So this is helpful tool, dynamic transport. Okay, so then so this thing color palette. Okay, and this is it. All the tools are done. Dynamic transport, keep it off. Shortcut key for loop playback is 4 number. Right? If you press 4 number from numeric keypad, it will turn off your loop mode. Right? So even if you have selected something, it's not going to repeat this loop. Right? It will only play whatever you have selected. Right? Yeah, that's it for today. Uh, that's it for today. This is go to zero marker start. You can also get, you can also